This is the Phillies Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Philadelphia Phillies. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast and the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. My name is Mark Farzetta. Connor Thomas has you covered each and every day for your Locked On Phillies daily podcast. I got you covered each and every day for your Locked On Phillies Postcast. And what a postcast to do today. Phillies find themselves down in a 4-0 hole. They come roaring back. They take a 6-4 lead. They blow that 2-run lead, unfortunately. And then who else but Rafael Marchan just coming up with a miracle in the top of the ninth inning to put the Phillies in front for good. A 3-run blast to put the Phillies up 9-6, and that's the way it would end after. Oh, my goodness gracious. John Duran came in to close it out. Easy peasy. Phillies have their magic number to clinch a first-round playoff bye, now down to 4. Just like that. This team, I feel like we've been saying this a lot over the last couple of weeks. The fightin' Phils, time and time again. I know everyone likes to go to that social media, the fightins, baby, and that is always hilarious. But I always like to go with Harry Callis, always talking about the fightin' Phils, and that's what they were again tonight. Just a running theme with this team. And I can't help but think with the recent magic captured by this team, even I believe the extremely optimistic Phillies fan, even a month ago, was looking at this team saying, yeah, they're one and done in the playoffs, the divisional round, they get bounced, or NLCS, they get bounced quickly, and it's not going to be a deep playoff push. They're not going to the World Series, you know. But now I get the overwhelming sense that is changing amongst a lot of people. And winning a lot of ball games, not being able to find ways to lose ball games, but find ways to win ball games time and time again. Otto Kemp has come up with big hits. Weston Wilson has come up with big hits. Harrison Bader has obviously been a godsend since the trade deadline. And this is all the while Zach Wheeler's out. He's done. Not going to see him anytime soon. Trey Turner's been out. Alec Bohm looks like he's going to come back over this weekend series against the Diamondbacks. And now Rafael Marchan steps up and delivers in a huge way tonight. Once to break up essentially a no-hitter, getting the first hit of the ball game, and then the other to come up with a big, huge swing in the ninth inning with 2 runners on. And the other thing that I love about it, a couple of things that I really loved about this game tonight. While I'm on Marshon, I'll stick with him. The fact that they conceded the intentional walk to Bryson Stott before him and put him on. They had that, what were they down? The 3-0, 3-1, whatever, 3-0, I think it was. And they said, that's enough. We're not even going to throw the fourth and see you later to take your base. So now 2 runners are on after Weston Wilson's double. First and second, 2 outs. What's Rafael Marchan going to do? I'll tell you what he's going to do. He's going to show some patience at the plate, and he's going to deliver. Because that's exactly what he did. 2 pitches out of the strike zone. 1 gets dropped in there. Then he works the count to 3-1. He gets a cutter down and in, and he swings down on this pitch and blasts it down the right field line. Just literally a wall scraper for the 3-run home run. And it goes without saying.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Rafael Marchan is our locked-on player of the game for the game-winning 3-run home run that he had in the top of the ninth inning that really just was all the Phillies needed from that point on to keep them in front in this game. Now, that was absolutely clutch. That was absolutely incredible. The Marshon miracle game, as far as I'm concerned. You could also refer to it. I joked about it when the Phillies really woke up with that 4-run inning. It should be 6-run inning. When they woke up with that, or when they came up with that 6-run inning, they kicked the hangover. They were sobered up by then, boys and girls. Oh, baby. But one of the moments that I really loved during this game was when Brandon Marsh stepped up to the plate as part of that 6-run inning. And he's down in the count 0-2. And he's facing a lefty. And he gets a slider that just freezes outer half of the plate, but up in the zone. Catches way too much of the plate. And down 0-2, Brandon Marsh puts a phenomenal swing on this baseball and pulls it into the right field stands for a 3-run home run, as well as giving the Phillies a 5-4 lead. Brandon Marsh homering off a lefty, folks, down in the count. All looks like it's dead. All looks like it's over. And Brandon Marsh comes up in the clutch like that. And then they add to it with Max Kepler's home run in that inning. He was up in the count 1-0, got a cutter, demolished that pitch as well. That gives them a 2-run lead, gives them 6-4. They started that inning down 4-0. Shohei Ohtani was only throwing a no-hitter against it through the first 5 innings of the game. And then they come out there in the 6th inning, and the Phillies offense wakes up to the tune of 6 runs. If you had to talk about a turning point, I feel like we've talked about this over the last couple of nights, last 2 nights specifically about the Dodgers, is that, yeah, you could talk about a couple of different turning points in this game, but if there is one main turning point in this one...
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Look, I don't believe that they won the game because this happened, but this is what put everything in motion. When Bryce Harper stepped to the plate with the bases loaded and 1 out, he had to deliver. He had to come up in this moment. Phillies had got nothing going so far. They get the Rafael Marchan 1-out base knock for the first hit of the game. Then they get Bader. He lines one in the left field for another base hit. So back-to-back singles there with 1 out. First and second, 1 out. Kyle Schwarber then gets gets a hit. That's 3 hits in a row there. Bases loaded, 1 out. The table is set for Bryce Harper. And Bryce Harper comes up with a 2-run single into right center field. All right, you got some runs out of that. Keep it going, Phils. That's where things really started to turn. Marsh cashed in with the big swing in that moment, and that's when really things started to tip in the direction of the Phillies. Then after that, in the 8th inning, unfortunately, David Robertson got gotten to by some guy named Shohei Ohtani, who was also hitting in today's ball game because he's incredible. He got a 1-0 cutter. He demolished that one 430 feet. That one was basically the same direction as Max Kepler's home run. I believe his traveled a full 20 feet farther. So there you go. Then they get Teoscar Hernandez, gets the double. So now you got a runner on second base with nobody out. They take Robertson out. They bring in Banks. He walks Freeman, gets him in a 3-2 count, loses the battle in an 8-pitch bat. You got first and second with 1 out. Little mound conference. Edman comes up there. He gets a single. Bases loaded. 1 out. Call gets the sac fly RBI. Now, instead of it being a 6-4 game, Ohtani's home run made it a 6-5 game. Now it's a 6-6 game after Call's sac fly RBI to left field. And the other thing was Banks had him down in the count 0-2. And unfortunately couldn't put him away. Then Pages is able to foul out to Bryce Harper up the first baseline into shallow right field foul territory. 6-6 ball game all of a sudden. It's all tied up. You come out in the 9th inning. Kemp goes down, grounds out to third. Kepler pops out to first. 2 outs. Weston Wilson with the 2-out double. And then Bryson Stott's sort of intentional walk, I'll call it. And then Rafael Marchan playing a little hero ball. And then a 1-2-3 bottom of the 9th inning for your boy, Joan Duran. This one was wild. This one was fun. I in no way, shape, or form expected the Phillies to win this game, especially when they're down 4-0. I was thinking back to last year after the Phillies clinched the division. Last year, their first NL East title since 2011. I was thinking back, wait, didn't they play the Cubs last year? And when I looked it up, I was like, oh, yeah, they lost 10-4. That was not a good game. Tanner Banks started that game and then gave the ball to Taijuan Walker. They combined to allow 6 runs. Cool. That's laying an egg. That's a game where maybe it just a little bit partied out from the night before. It looked like that was going to be the case tonight, but nope, the fighting Phils fought, and they fought well. What will you be talking about tomorrow?
This is what you'll be talking about.
Yeah, Rafael Marchan being the hero of the game. That's what you're going to be talking about. An unlikely candidate being the hero of the game. That's what you'll be breaking down tomorrow when it comes to Rafael Marchan and this Phillies victory. They take the first 2 of 3 against the Dodgers, and obviously they win the season series against the Dodgers. That's a good feeling. All that and more you'll be kicking around. Unfortunately, the Milwaukee Brewers won earlier today, so the Phillies remain a game and a half behind the Brew Crew. for the number 1 seed in the National League. When we come back, we're going to take your comments on this and also go through the pitchers tonight as well as the box score. Just about everybody hit for the Phillies tonight. We'll get to that and more when we return. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast on the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Let me tell you about Nutrafol. You've probably seen a million ads for hair growth products and thought, sure, like it actually works. Well, there's so many products out there, it's hard to know which ones actually are going to do the thing they say they're going to do. That's why you should give Nutrafol a closer look. Nutrafol is the number 1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people, and it's not just hype. This is a supplement clinically tested that targets the root causes of thinning and shedding hair with a proactive approach. So, trust Nutrafol like so many others have. See thicker, stronger hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering Locked On MLB listeners and viewers and Locked On Phillies $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping. So go to Nutrafol.com to enter promo code Locked On MLB. That's Nutrafol.com with promo code Locked On MLB. And now let me tell you about the Game Time app. Nothing like catching a baseball live in a game, then holding on to it, making sure nobody else steals it, making sure nobody takes it out of, your 10-year-old son's mitt. Who would do that? But going to a game, that's where Game Time comes in, the Game Time app. I love using the Game Time app because that gives the advantage back to the fans. Game Time is fast, easy, and backed by the Game Time guarantee. You'll always get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best price. Plus, all the fees that are included. You see it right there in the sticker price. So there's no, you check out. It's like, whoa. Where these convenience fees, quote unquote, come from? What you see is what you pay. No hidden fees. So check out the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code Locked On MLB. That's promo code Locked On MLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, use promo code LOCKEDON MLB for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today. Now let's talk about your money with FanDuel and the FanDuel app. Go to FanDuel.com to download the app. The NFL season is upon us. FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. FanDuel. Love using FanDuel because it fits however I like to bet, whether it's player props, same-game parlays, or jumping in on live action as it unfolds. It makes every game more exciting, whether you're watching your team or just keeping an eye on your fantasy lineup. It's quick, it's easy, and it's the best way to add a little bit more energy to your game days. So, you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app right now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com right now to get started. Place your first $5 bet, and if it hits, $300 in bonus bets to use across the FanDuel app. So, visit FanDuel.com to get started and download the FanDuel app today. As promised, taking a look at the Phillies box score today. Bryson Stott, come on. Otto Kemp, come on. The only Phillies unable to record a hit today. Rafael Marchan, as I mentioned, your 9-hole hitter today. He came up with 2. He was the only multi-hit game tonight for your Philadelphia Phillies. Other than that, you still got 2 RBIs from Bryce Harper, the 3-run home run from Brandon Marsh, and Max Kepler also came up with his 19th home run of the season. Not too shabby. As for your pitchers tonight, Christopher Sanchez, still one heck of a start for him despite the 4 runs. Obviously not what you like to see from him. But after last night, things are going to be a little bit shaky. But 7 innings tonight, 4 runs, 7 hits, did not issue a walk, 6 strikeouts, and unfortunately did give up 2 home runs. 102 pitches on the evening. David Robertson, unfortunately, charged for 2 runs. Tanner Banks got hit a wee bit. And also, he had a walk and got a hit. Joe Anderon, like I mentioned, a 1-2-3 save. He picks that one up his 31st of the season using just 12 pitches. Let's get into the chat check and see how you wonderful people are feeling on this fine, fine day. Graham Francis, please explain why I'm so excited about finishing on top of a 5-team division. Honestly, I'm not being condescending. I just don't understand that celebration. Graham, I get how in baseball you could play like 150 games and you clinch, or 155 games and you clinch and you want to sell 162 games. At the end of it, you clinch, you're in. I celebrate that. It's a long season. It's a grind. You're out there every day. I get celebrating it. But when you're a team like the Phillies that has been to a World Series, lost it. Been to an LCS, lost it. Been to an NLDS against a division rival, lost it. Celebrating in that manner still makes no sense to me whatsoever. Typically, I love it. As of late for the Phillies, I haven't loved it. Just because there's so much meat on the bone. But, Graham, I get what you're saying. An Ohtani gem absolutely ruined in 19 pitches. Gotta love it. Right, Seabrook? Morgan Landy. I'm at the game. Dodger Stadium is quiet right now. Let's finish the boys. How about that? Morgan, I've never been to Dodger Stadium. I'd love to go out there to Chavez Ravine. You brought the luck, Morgan, says Evelyn. Look at us. John, Topper has been pushing a lot of right buttons lately, but pitching a 40-year-old back-to-back nights was not one of them. Supposedly a little short on bullpen guys today there, hon. Not you, John. I just mean in general. So I get it. There is one thing that Topper has done like all year that I just can't stand. He's done a phenomenal job this year. He really has. But if there's one thing that I'm like, Topper, how have you not cracked the code on? How have you not cracked the code on this? And it's just letting a guy like Aaron Nola just get shelled. Just like there's been multiple instances. Mick Abel was one of those instances, but that was he was done after that anyway. So I guess they just wanted him out there no matter what. But there's been a couple of other instances. Ranger Suarez, I think, had one. Jesus Luzardo certainly had his. Like, he doesn't have it today. Get him out of there. Other than that, Rob Thompson's been damn near perfect this year. Polar Buck, why can't we just have an easy breezy win? I'm so stressed. But yeah, wasn't it exciting? Holy poo emoji, says Polar Buck. Rafael Marchan. How about the bottom feeders? Right. Evelyn, Marvelous Marshon. Sounds like a wrestling name. Everyone keeps contributing. I love it. Don't blow it. Durantula. Well, he didn't. That's cool. Polar Buck, I love when they do that with one of our guys. How about that? Elliot, hello. I was trying to fall asleep when Ohtani was mowing us down, but I couldn't. I'm glad you didn't. Well, there you go. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for staying awake. Philly and 8. I'm so happy for Rafael. Right? Bandman 100, Marshon. Cosmic Justice getting walked off by a 3-run. Well, it wasn't a walk-off, but a 3-run home run by another NL West team's backup catcher in June. Not bad. Bilbo Swaggins, hello. This team feels really special. New hero every night. That's the sign of a championship ball club. I agree. This does start to feel a lot different. And I got to go back and look, but I can't remember the Phillies in recent history during this great run that they've had of making the playoffs and now back-to-back NL East championships. I can't, for the life of me, I don't think in previous years the Phillies were this hot in September going into the postseason. Like, that's what makes you feel so damn good because you're always fearing the team playing the hottest baseball at the end of the year. And it's hard. You're hard-pressed to find a team hotter than NFL off of the Phillies. Steve, hello. After last night, you might expect a letdown game, but nope, not this Phil's team. Crazy, incredible win, incredible series. Love it. Bam, man, it really is incredible how anti-clutch the Dodgers bullpen is. Yeah, not good. Not good. God Country Core, hello. The bullpen has been shaky, but when you can hit the way we have been hitting, it's just a matter of time before a win. That's why I look at, and I told you this before, when it comes to maybe Aaron Nola gets gotten to in the first inning, Taijuan Walker has certainly had his share of getting gotten to in the first inning. 3 runs, 4 runs, I go, okay. All right, now unfortunately it was Christopher Sanchez's turn. 3 runs in the second inning tonight. Then he allowed another run in the 5th or 4th inning tonight. But I'm looking at this Phillies lineup going, 3 or 4 runs? Nah, I got that. Ohtani's not going to pitch very long. His longest outing this year is like 80 pitches, something like that. They're going to be an opportunity here for the Phillies to get back in this ball game. And as fate would have it, that's exactly what happened. 3 runs that Christopher Sanchez allowed in the 3rd inning. 1 run Christopher Sanchez allowed in the 4th inning before the Phillies started their comeback in that 6th inning. Steelers fan, Brandon Marsh came back from the dead this year. The resurgence has been otherworldly. That too should be studied. Elijah, walking back to my house, victory tacos in hand. That's nice. That's nice. Good for you. You enjoy those tacos, those victory tacos. Everyone in the chat, thank you so much for joining the show tonight. We really appreciate it. I'll be back with you guys tomorrow for another edition of Locked On Phillies Postcast. This time around, the Phillies will go for that sweep of the Dodgers at Chavez Ravine out there in Los Angeles. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. By the way, another 10-10 start time. There's no afternoon game tomorrow, unfortunately. So you guys will be back together for another fun-filled evening tomorrow night. Jesus Luzardo gets the start against Blake Snell. Snell 4-4 in the season with a 2.79 ERA. Still crossing my fingers that Jesus Luzardo somehow before the end of the season can get that ERA down into the threes, which would be a much better symbol of what his season really has been for the vast majority of it. By the way, Snell coming off a game against the Colorado Rockies, so like that even counts. 6 innings, 2 hits. That's it. 2 walks, 11 strikeouts. That's what the Phillies are facing tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Back with you guys tomorrow. Until then, go Phils. See you tomorrow.